Hello, my name is Toby. I'm your English language tutor, and today we're going to be looking at essay writing. I know that some of us do not like writing essays, but we really do not have a choice. At some point in our lives, we're going to have to write essays. Now, everyone has written an essay before. Even you have written an essay before. When you write love letters, it's a form of an essay, okay? And I know that some of you have sent composed texts or composed mails to your friends. You are writing essays. Okay, what is essay writing? Essay writing is a continuous form of writing. A continuous form of writing. And we have all sorts of essay writing. There are quite a few of them. We have letter writing. Under letter writing, we have formal and informal letter writing. Formal and informal letter writing. We have narratives, that is story writing. Most of us love stories. Almost everybody loves a good story. We have expository. We have argumentative writing or speech. And then we also have some form of writing that you may not use now, but you would eventually need them. They're used mostly in offices, memorandums, circulars, and queries. Now, we're going to start with learning how to write a letter. I think that of all of those, that is the one that is most exciting, because for the informal letter, we get to write to people that we know, we get to write to our family members, our friends. We would enjoy writing those. Informal writing, informal letter writing, because you are writing to someone that you know and you enjoy writing it. Now, there's a method to writing letters, even informal letters. We have features, certain things that must be in your letter. At the right-hand top of your page, you have the writer's address. That is your own address. You are the writer. Your own address will be there. And then we have the dates. On the other end, you have your salutation. Now, what does it mean to salute? You know, the way the policemen do it. Greeting. You greet your friend. And then you go to your body. The message. The reason why you decided to pick a pen and paper, you write it here in your body. And then you also have your closing salutation. When you finish talking to your friend, you greet one another in real life when you're talking. And so in letter writing, you should also greet. Salutation again, but this time in closing. Now, specifically, we are going to look at how to write all of these parts of the letter. The writer's address, that is your own address. Everybody has an address. The address is a description, a specific description of where you live, your house. And so on the first line, you write the number of your house and your street. Number 1, Patience Street. And you make sure that it ends close to the margin. The margin is the line at the end of your book. You write nothing else but the number of your house and your streets. Number 1, Patience Street. Then you write your area. That could be Ikolaba. Then you write your town or your city. That could be Ibadan. it could be Lagos, it could be Enugu, and then you write your state. And you have your full stop. You write your full stop because you have ended your address. Underneath your address, you write your dates. You have a full stop again because you have ended your dates. This is one way to write your address. Another way to write your address, this way that I just wrote, is called the block form. The way I'm going to teach you now is called the indented form. Instead of starting your first letter directly under the first letter here, you start it under the second letter. You write your ikolaba here. So there is an indent, there is a space. That's an indentation. When you want to write your town or city, you write it under the second letter. When you want to write your state also, you keep writing under the second letter so that everything has a slant. And then your full stop. Then your dates, you start it under the first letter. Now, those are the two ways to write your address: the indented form and the block form. Now we go to the salutation. Salutation is greeting. When you are greeting your friend, you say, "Good afternoon, Jane. Good afternoon, Peter. Hello, Peter." In your letter, you write, "Dear Tolu." You write "dear" and the first name of your friend. And then you go on to the body of your letter. Now, to write your body is the message. Your body is the real thing that you want to say. And that will take a bit of some space. You must make sure that whatever you are writing, first of all, when you are starting, you show that you know this person. When you are writing a letter, when you are writing an informal letter, you are writing to someone that you know. And so you ask about the person. You ask for things around the person. If the person has siblings that you know, you ask about them. If they have, if there's anything interesting that you know has happened to the person, you could remind the person about it. You know, just greet the person generally before you go to the message to the body of your letter. And then in your letter writing, it has to show that you are familiar with the person. You know things about the person. And then after you've written all of that, you go to your closing salutation where you write, "Yours sincerely." That's a way of saying bye-bye. And then you write your name. You could write just your first name, or you could write your first name and your surname, as you like it. Now, I'm going to show you a sample of an informal letter. Number 10, Patient Street, Ikolaba, Ibadan, Oyo State, 5th of March, 2017. Dear Tolu, ever since you traveled, everything has changed for me. I miss you so much, but I comfort myself knowing that you have gone to get a good education for yourself, and I hope to join you soon. We have relocated from Oluyole to Bodija. I miss all our friends and neighbors. I don't like the new house, but Mom and Dad says I'll come around. Can you guess why I don't like it? Yes, you know, right? It's too quiet. The street always feels deserted, and the children do not come out to play. Everyone stays indoors. I wonder why they have to lock themselves in their own houses. Secondly, this house is very small. Mom and Dad says we don't need much space anymore. My room is too small. All my things barely fit in. Don't even ask me about your own things. They are all locked up somewhere. I guess I have to get used to it. I'm stuck until I can get into a university like you. I know you'd have gotten a new roommate. Write and tell me about her. Hoping to hear from you soon. Best regards, your sister, Toby. Now, even before the closing salutation, you could already tell that the writer is writing to a family member because of the familiar way and the things that she spoke about, things that they both know, things that are peculiar to both of them. Those are the things that you write in your informal letter. Your informal letter should always show familiarity because the person is your friend or your family member. The person is someone that you know very well. Now let's go on to formal letter. Formal letters are written to people who are above us. Now, when I mean above us, it means that they are older than us. It means that they're probably our bosses. Okay? It means that they are people that we respect and we show a lot of honor. Formal letter. Now, in the formal letter, we also have the writer's address. And then you have your dates. And you write it in the exact way that you wrote in the informal letter. But the difference here is that now on this side, instead of just the salutation, you write the address of the person receiving your letter. But before you write the person's address, you must write the person's title. That's very important. You are writing to someone that is well above you, and you must recognize their title. And so the person could be your principal. The person could be the chairman of your local government. The person could be your boss. Whoever it is, you must always write their address. Now, let's assume that you're writing to the principal of your school. The principal. You're not going to write his home address. You're going to write his office address. His office address would definitely be a school. Okay? So there goes, Emmanuel High School, Ibadan, Oyo State. Next, we write the salutation. You should also greet here. Directly underneath, you write your opening salutation, your greeting. Dear sir, or madam. Sometimes the person you are writing to, you have never seen that person before. So you don't know if the person is a man or a woman. If you're very sure, only if you're very sure that the person is a woman, should you write dear madam. You don't want to be writing dear madam to a man. But if you are not sure if the person is a man or a woman, then you can write dear sir to the person. Dear sir or dear madam. Then you must title your formal letter. You must write a title for your formal letter. There are two ways to write a title. You could write it in block. When we say block, that means that you are writing in capital letters only. So assuming that you are writing a letter of request, or you are writing a letter of application, or you are writing a letter of complaint, you title it Letter of Complaint. You write it in block. Everything in capital letter. Or you could write only the first letters in capital letter. And then you underline. Now, this method is a bit tricky because it is not all of the words that you start with capital letter. You start only your nouns, your verbs, your adjectives, and your adverbs in capital letters. All other parts of speech, you write in small letters. But if you feel that you might not get this right, then you can just stick to the block letters where you write everything in capital letters. Now, you move on to the body of your letter. The body is the message, whatever you want to say. Now, in formal letter, you don't chatter idly. You don't talk too much. You just go straight to the point. You say exactly what you want to say. If you're making a complaint, you complain immediately. If you're making a request, you request immediately. If you're making an application, you just apply. Okay? You don't do any preamble, no necessary greeting, nothing. You just go straight. And the reason is because people who are reading your letter, they are very busy people. So they have little time to read whatever you have brought to their table. So you have to go straight to the point. After your body, you also close with a salutation. But this salutation is different. It is yours faithfully. You must always remember that it is for informal letter that we have yours sincerely. For formal letter, we have yours faithfully. You sign your signature. And then you write your name in full, your surname, your middle name, your first name. That is how to write a formal letter. I'm going to show you a sample of a formal letter. Number 10, Patience Street, Ikolaba, Ibadan, Oyo State, 5th of March, 2017. That is the writer's address. You are the one writing, that is your address, and that is the date you are writing the letter. Now, this letter is written to the Minister of Transportation about the bad state of a certain street. The Minister of Transportation, now the address, which is on the left-hand side, as I showed you. The Minister of Transportation, that is his title. Ministry of Transportation, that is his office. Wuse, Abuja. Dear Sir or Madam, and then you have your letter, your title, letter of complaint. You either write it in block or in the underlined form. I write to request for immediate rehabilitation of the road on Patience Street at Ikolaba, Ibadan. The road has deteriorated to a deplorable state and has become unsafe for the residents. I will appreciate a quick response to avoid any loss of lives. Thank you. Yours faithfully. Your signature and your name. As you can see, the formal letter is very different from the informal letter. It is short, it goes straight to the point, and it is addressed to someone that you might have never met before. Today in this lesson, we've learned about letter writing. The two forms of letter writing are formal and informal writing. The informal writing is written to your friends and relatives, people that you know, people that you're familiar with. The formal writing is written to people that you most probably do not know, people who are above you. It is short, straight to the point, and usually used in official settings. In the next lesson, we'll be looking at the other forms of essay writing. Thank you.
Be the first to get new tutorial videos. Subscribe now.